I'm Second Lieutenant John Martz from Brussels, Ontario.
I'm Private Mark Graham from Hamilton, Ontario.
I'm Corporal Wayne Temperley, and I'm from Sarnia, Ontario.
And I'm Captain Rowena Williams from Callander, Ontario. We're here to tell you about the great life you can have in Canada's Army. We'll tell you what you can expect when you become a member of our team, whether you're an officer or a non-commissioned member, single or married, in the regular force or the reserves. We'll answer some of the basic questions you may have about training, working hours and uniforms, garrison life, and what it's like on field exercises and overseas deployments.
Here's how an Army career begins. If you're a non-commissioned member, once you've completed your basic military qualification, or BMQ, you'll move on to intensive preparation for the specialized occupation you've chosen. It could be infantry training in Wainwright, Alberta, Meaford, Ontario, or Valcartier, Quebec, learning how to use and maintain machine guns and anti-tank weapons, and mastering the basics of field maneuvers and defensive tactics.
Go!
Armored soldiers like myself move on to Gagetown, New Brunswick to learn how to drive, maintain, and fight with their Coyote armored vehicles. Soldiers in artillery and combat engineer trades also get their specialized training in Gagetown. Signal operators and other members of the communications and electronic branch go to Kingston, Ontario for specialized training, learning to use the tools that keep information moving in a modern, mobile army. And finally, soldiers that choose medical, intelligence, or military police, or one of the support trades like logistics, get their occupational training at Borden, Ontario. Whatever trade you choose, you'll be mastering the specialized job skills that the Canadian Army needs, and gaining the expertise, leadership, and self-confidence that Canadian employers desire and reward. The Army provides unique opportunities for people not only to learn valuable technical skills, but also to learn to function effectively as part of a team in a dynamic environment. You're all going to be going off and you're going to be serving in the same squadron or the same regiment as the people that you're on course with. It's a chance for you to form a bond between these young guys there, and they're going to be your friends from the time that you go through your battle school right till the end of your career.
Army officers follow a different path. Once you've completed your basic officer training course, or BOTC, regular force officers move on to Gagetown, New Brunswick for Common Army phase training. Officers in the reserves will receive similar training through courses offered through distance learning and at training centers throughout Canada, as well as at their home unit. During the second phase of your training, you'll build on the leadership skills you developed in BOTC and learn what's required of all Army soldiers: more advanced weapons handling, fieldcraft, and section-level tactics. Career paths divide at this point, with officers moving on to the specialized training they'll need in their individual commands.
They design these courses to push you, to force you to learn, and they teach you a great deal in a very short amount of time. You learn a lot about yourself and what you can do, what you can accomplish. And when you're finished, you leave with a good sense of pride and a feeling of accomplishment for having done so.
Once your training is completed, if you are a member of the regular force, you'll be posted to one of 9 Canadian Forces Army bases across the country. As a soldier, most of your time is spent in garrison, working at your home base. On garrison duty, soldiers enjoy the same basic working hours and holidays as civilian workers. Your daily routine in garrison usually starts with PT or physical training in the morning, and the rest of the day is filled with maintenance, training, and other duties. Officers spend their time in garrison planning and supervising training, preparing for field operations, and carrying out their management and administrative duties. After their trade training, reserve force personnel return to their home unit to continue with additional training and professional development. And to answer the question that everybody asks, you don't wear your uniform off duty, and your friends and neighbors come from all walks of life, not just the Army or other branches of the military.
One of the reasons why the idea of being in the military appealed to me so much is because I knew it was going to give me the opportunity to hang around and get involved with a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds. And you get close. I mean, it's inevitable. Certainly, yes, when we're on exercise, we're sleeping together, we're eating together, we're hurting together, and we're laughing together.
deployment can be an intense 24/7 experience in remote territory under extreme conditions. But taking part in international deployments is one of the most important missions of our modern Canadian Army. Protecting local populations, clearing landmines, delivering humanitarian assistance, and working closely with village residents and schools. These tours usually last about 6 months. It's something every soldier looks forward to and what you spend the rest of your time training and preparing for. It was really stunning when I first arrived, and there were no buildings. Everything was rubble. There was a lot of destruction, a lot of debris everywhere. It was amazing, the transformation in 6 months, and you could really look back on that as our last trip out to the airport. You looked around the city and you really felt that you had made a difference. When your unit is on a field exercise or deployed overseas, the mission takes precedence over the comforts of home. Soldiers are housed in camps consisting of modular shelters like these and eat their meals in a communal field kitchen. Some units are assigned patrol duties that can take them away from their camp for days at a time, traveling, working, eating, and sleeping in the field. In camp, there are daily email and telephone links to family and friends back home where possible. And as an added bonus, you don't pay any taxes on your income while you're on deployment in some parts of the world, and your room and board are paid for by the Army.
You may have more specific questions about enrolling as a member of the Army and about the many opportunities available to you. Please feel free to ask any of the Canadian Forces personnel at the Recruiting Centre for help.
Whatever choice you make, rest assured that in choosing the Army, you'll be joining a team that has already welcomed the best and brightest our country has to offer.
A team with a proud heritage that stretches back into history, carrying on a vital tradition of peacemaking and peacekeeping, and of coming to the aid of people in need, both here at home and around the world.
It's exciting, it's important, and we do make a difference. The Canadian Army.